thanks for tuning into the program. I'm Connie Bryan and you're watching The Connie Bryan Show. Well, it's official. The Trump administration has now lost more people in 1 year's time than plane crashes last year on Malaysian Airlines. Yeah, I know that was a little painful, but sometimes the truth hurts. Welcome to the Trump Home Alone White House. Some folks like to say that Trump looks like he's running the presidency like another season of The Apprentice, but to me, with all the adults in his administration that were tasked with babysitting him in the White House daycare center, who've now walked off the job or been fired, it just looks to me more like a mind-blowingly scary sequel of Home Alone. You know, with Trump playing a 70-year-old version of a retarded Macaulay Culkin, you know. Instead of using ingenious ways to keep the bad guys out, he's inviting them into the Oval Office. I'm kidding around here a little bit. Don't forget, folks, that really happened. Remember when that really happened and Trump invited two top Russians alone with him into the Oval Office, and then we found out he actually did give them top secret information, and he's still president? Last week, Trump tweeted out to his base, Don't worry about all these people who are leaving my administration in droves. Don't worry, trust me, there's lots of people that want to work in the White House. Trust me, believe me. Lots of people want to work, and a few of them are not even Russians. Matter of fact, just yesterday, Sean Hannity was standing on the White House lawn, right in front of my Oval Office window, holding a sign for me that said, "Will work for Stormy Daniels' phone number." And most recently, even Trump's longtime surrogate daughter, Hope Hicks, has walked out on him and left him in the lurch. Yeah, insiders say Hope was really getting tired of not being treated as well by Trump as Ivanka, you know. And apparently she said that he wouldn't flirt with her as much, and he wouldn't stop pestering her to give him Ivanka's new unlisted phone number. And last but not least, I'm sure you've all heard by now, Russian President Vladimir Putin has won re-election. Big surprise, right? No, seriously, it was a nail-biter. I mean, he only won by 76%. I mean, in Russian terms, that's a close call. That means 24% of the Russian electorate would prefer to be poisoned by Putin than vote for the piece of shit. So, I mean, that's a little bit of progress, you have to say. And, of course, one of the first people out of the gate to congratulate Putin after he won re-election, you guessed it, Donald Trump. Of course, right? Apparently, Donald was really impressed with Putin's campaign slogan this time. Yeah, instead of going with something boring, you know, like they've done in the past, stand up with Putin, they went with something that had a little more creativity this time. Stand upwind with Putin. You know, upwind of the poison. Stick around, we got a great show planned for you, so you're going to really enjoy this. Please, no channel surfing. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Connie Bryan and you're watching The Connie Bryan Show. Now, I just want to say at the top of the show here, please, you know, save your irritated emails and complaints with respect to the monologue, you know, with the whole, she used the word retarded, you know. Who was I talking about? Okay, Donald Trump. That's just so crass and so vulgar. And yeah, see, who was I? We're talking about Donald Trump, so this is one of those rare occasions when the word is perfectly applied, okay? All right, this is the part of the program that I always like to welcome all of our viewers in our respective markets and our growing network. So, first of all, we want to, of course, welcome our Sacramento and our Davis viewers from where we emanate here in the capital of California. Also, one of our newest acquisitions, we want to welcome Berkeley, California to the program. So thank you to all of you in Berkeley who are watching maybe for the first time. And down south in Southern California, we want to welcome our Pasadena viewers and our Santa Barbara viewers, where the show began back in 2003. So thank you for tuning into the program. Outside of California, we want to welcome our Portland, Oregon viewers and also our Denver Open Media viewers. Thank you for tuning into the show. Also, we want to welcome another one of our newest acquisitions, Minneapolis, Minnesota. So thank you for tuning into the program. And last but not least, we want to welcome our Washington, D.C. viewers to the show. Thanks to all of you for tuning in, and everyone watching worldwide on the web, wherever you are. Thanks so much for being here. Now, this is the part of the program that I like to catch you guys up on some of the news stories I've been keeping track of in the newspaper. So let's get right to it, because we got a bunch of cool stories to share with you on the program. Take a look at this story by Benji Eagle of the Sacramento Bee about how Jillian, the San Francisco tiger, could not adjust to the Sacramento Zoo. This is a very interesting story. It says 5-year-old Jillian, a 213-pound Sumatran tiger, moved to Sacramento from the San Francisco Zoo back in March of 2017. And it says her problem was a familiar one for people who have moved from other cities, homesickness. But I think there was a little more to it than just homesickness, or maybe some things that explain the homesickness a little more. The article goes on to say Jillian was so depressed, a UC Davis animal biologist had to prescribe her antidepressants. So I got to thinking, just how did that counseling session go down between the two of them? Did Jillian jump up on his couch, and say, "I'm going crazy here in Sacramento, Doc. I can't get any sleep because the weasels and the meerkats and the reptiles are all holding Make America Great Again Trump rallies." I mean, look, I'd like to make America growl again, okay? But America is already great. Just like my great-grandfather Tony the Tiger always said, "America, you're great." But back in San Francisco, even the weasels and the snakes were progressive and socially conscious. Sure, they might not be hardcore vegans like me, like I've chosen to be. The weasels and the snakes might eat an occasional mouse back in San Francisco now and then, but at least they felt some remorse when they did. And that's not all, Doc. Here in Sacramento, they serve me water out of the tap. Dude, has nobody here in Sacramento heard of kale water? Surely somebody here in Sacramento's heard of Flint, Michigan? There's no water purifier. There's not even a cheap filter device. And I keep getting the runs really bad. It's not funny. And speaking of that, there's no organic grass seed in my litter box. It's just generic cat litter from Pets R Us. I can't shit in that shit. In San Francisco, my kitty litter box was all organic shaved pine and grass seed. Not only was it environmentally conscious and green sustainable, but my living space smelled fresh, like a grassy forest meadow after an afternoon rain. But this exhibit here, where I have to live in Sacramento, smells like Donald Trump's ass after he binges on 2 buckets of KFC, Doc. In San Francisco, I could ease into my mornings with a little Yanni, and piped in over the zoo intercom for me. I could do my tiger yoga. I do my own version, none of this downward-facing dog crap. I invented the upward-facing pussy, I'll have you know. But here in Sacramento, every morning some yahoo comes barging in wearing an NRA baseball cap, listening to freaking Hank Williams Jr. Doc, I left my heart in San Francisco, where the Berkeley students come and toss me their rad Humboldt County catnip. This crap they call catnip here is some kind of Bakersfield ragweed. You gotta get me out of here, Doc, or I swear to God, I'm gonna start my own Tiger Lives Matter chapter. We're gonna do more than make America growl again. Let me tell you, I can come off of my vegan diet for at least a few days. But the good news is she's back in San Francisco where she's going to be happy. All right, take a look at this story here by Kathy Locke of the Sacramento Bee, entitled "Teens to Play Cops and Robbers, Raising Concern for Their Safety." It describes how an annual kids game called Cops and Robbers, a competition between high school upper and lower classmen traditionally played out every year in a Sacramento neighborhood, is raising new concerns in light of the recent controversial shooting by the police of another unarmed black man that I'm sure all of you have heard about. It was all over the nationwide news. And also in light of our growing nationwide gun violence debate, this is very concerning. So the article says the Sheriff's Department is working through social media to alert parents that teenagers running around a neighborhood with fake guns pretending to shoot each other is probably not a good idea right now. They're asking the kids, can we maybe take this inside with a game that's a little less shoot 'em up? You know, maybe something that targets and robs their friends online. I don't know, instead of Cops and Robbers, maybe they could play Facebook and Trump Russian hackers, but with no poisoning. You gotta make that clear. Let's make this extra clear for the kids. Tell them they're allowed to play bad guys. You know, they can pretend to be Trump and Putin, but no guns and no poisoning. All right, take a look at this story here, entitled Will Smith's Water Company. It says Jaden Smith's environmental consciousness was born when he was out surfing at about age 10. He saw plastic water bottles bobbing in the ocean, and he was so upset by it that he told his parents. Then he learned in school about the Great American Garbage Patch, you know, those floating islands of garbage and plastic debris out in the ocean, and Jaden insisted that his family do something about it. So the result is a company they named Just. It's an eco-friendly bottled water company founded by Jaden and his famous dad, Will Smith. The company makes its packaging from almost entirely renewable resources, including plastic derived from sugarcane. And Will Smith says this was a company born out of a child's love for the ocean. He says about their company's new offering, flavored water. Excuse me, Will, but don't we already have a boatload of those kind of companies? Do we really need another flavored water? I hate to pop Will Smith's eco-friendly bubble here, but the inference in this story is that somehow you and your son's vision is supposed to be diminishing the amount of plastic that can collect in the ocean, but I didn't hear the part in the story where you spent a fortune hiring seafaring ships to go out there and collect tons of plastic from those polluted floating islands from which to recycle and make your bottles with, thereby diminishing the pollution in the ocean. Newsflash, all you seem to be doing with your hip, eco-friendly company called Just is that you are just manufacturing even more plastic bottles, albeit made from sugarcane, that will continue to float out to those plastic islands and continue to pollute the ocean. Just saying, Will. All right, take a look at this story here from the People section of the Sacramento Bee, entitled Kardashian West Baby is Chicago. The name of baby number 3, it says, with Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, it's Chicago, where Kanye was raised. It says Chicago was born weighing in at 7 pounds 6 ounces, and right out of the womb, the doctor said she strangely had a full head of very wind-blown hair. You know, because Chicago being the windy city and all. You get that? She joins big sister North and middle brother Saint. So I'd like to just fast forward about 5 years when Chicago's other 2 older siblings are old enough to realize how much they were shortchanged here. What the hell, Mommy? You gave Chicago a badass name like the 3rd largest city in America, but you smoked a joint and picked a direction on the compass for me? North? And a 3rd-rate superhero who no one's ever heard of for my brother, Saint? People say smoking weed is harmless. That's bullshit. Tell me, Mom, how's our baby sister Chicago ever supposed to look up to us with lame-ass names like North and Saint? you need to put down the freaking bong and announce to the press that we are, from now on, to be legally referred to as North Minneapolis and St. Paul. Two totally rad cities that everybody would rather live in than freaking Chicago. All right, last but not least, take a look at this story here by Ryan Lillis and Cynthia Hubert of the Sacramento Bee. And it's entitled, Homeless People Have Few Options When Nature Calls. Sacramento to weigh public restrooms and attendance. It says advocates for the homeless have for some time been pushing for action on providing places for people to relieve themselves. City Councilman Steve Hansen is quoted here in the article, giving us a little window into what the city is thinking about, how they're exploring ideas to address the problem. And he's quoted in the article making the astute observation, you know, when nature calls, it's clear people don't put that call on hold. Brilliant! What a brilliant and brave observation, Councilman. So is the city then going to immediately start leaving park restrooms open now instead of locking the homeless out at night? Well, I didn't say that yet. I was recognizing that homeless people don't have the ability right now to put nature's call on hold. So, you know what, maybe we could consider, I don't know, providing them access to cell phones that have a better service plan. T-Mobile, maybe, you know, one that gives them more options when nature calls. Maybe what, you think maybe call waiting? Call forwarding? Look, folks, it's time to see some caring in action. Time to either or get off the porta potty, okay? Now, speaking of that, place a bunch of porta potties around town and open city park public restrooms 24 hours a day. Give some homeless people jobs as custodians, and they can help maintain those bathrooms. It's not rocket science, folks. It just takes common sense and a willingness to act on behalf of those whose voices are not heard and who are down and out. Yeah, well, it's clear they can't put nature's call on hold, so another idea we had was maybe call blocking. Oh my God. So stick around, folks. We've got some really good stuff coming up. I want to show you some interviews that I did not too long ago with some of the homeless here in Sacramento. And I'd like to set that up first with one of my newest parodies, a Red Hot Chili Peppers tune I did a parody of. It's coming up, so please stick around, check it out. You're going to like this. I mean, this is crazy. And gas stations never clean their bathrooms. They're filthy long before the homeless ever end up using them. I think the homeless might be the only people who ever even clean up a gas station bathroom, and that's just so they can use it. So let them use the freaking AM PM if they have the guts and they're brave enough to do it. But this lady who created this Facebook group, Land Park Society, is actually quoted in the article in the Sacramento Bee saying, "It's not up to us to come up with solutions and take care of it ourselves." You know, there's a name for people who act like this, and I just got to say, I damn sure wouldn't want to be in her shoes if there is any kind of judgment day, you know, or a day of reckoning to account for your life when our life is over. So she kind of inspired me. I'd like to play my newest song for you. And this is going to be to the tune of the Red Hot Chili Peppers' big hit, Under the Bridge Downtown. Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. Sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city of trees, the city I live in. But she climbs up in them, pointing her cell phone at me. And I don't ever wanna feel like she made me feel that day. Take me to the place I love, some place where I can stay. But please, please keep that bitch away. Far away from behind the Circle K. Yeah, under the bridge downtown, I tried to rest a bit, but the land park bitch downtown, she just had to be a dick. Under the bridge downtown, I tried to pitch my tent, but the land park bitch downtown, she just likes to be a dick, and it ain't like we're sleeping on her lawn. And she's hunting us at the freaking crack of dawn. And I don't ever wanna feel like she made me feel that day. Take me to a place of love, someplace where I can stay. She woke me up, it almost stopped my heart. She was trying to repo my Walmart shopping cart. Yeah, under the bridge downtown, I tried to rest a bit, but the land park bitch downtown, she just had to be a dick. Under the bridge downtown, I tried to pitch my tent, but the land park bitch downtown, she just had to be a dick. Land park bitch just likes to be a dick. Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. Sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city I live in, the city of trees. But she climbs up in them, pointing her cell phone at me.
Hey there, what's your name?
Christy.
Hey, Christy. Are you on the street in Sacramento right now?
Yeah.
Okay. And just for our viewers, could you share a little bit from your perspective what it is you might benefit from, services-wise for the homeless that would really help?
Showers.
Just in a word, right? Showers.
And a place to stay that would accept animals.
Oh yes, this would be.
Blue. That's blue.
Hi, Blue.
Because most shelters don't accept animals.
It's a little bit low lighting here, but I think we can see him.
And I could never go without him.
It's dangerous from time to time. It's cold. We have very little resources. Everyone knows we're out here, but they don't really care to do anything about it. Not that it's their job. But,
yeah.
They give us a lot of heartache.
How long have you been homeless?
I've been homeless for 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
Would you want to share anything that might have led to that?
Drugs.
Drugs?
I used to do a lot of methamphetamine.
Methamphetamines?
Yeah, and I stopped.
So you got help for that, or?
Actually, no, I just
did it on your own?
Yeah, I lost everything. Lost all my cars, my boat, my house, my wife. I had all that. I had a good job, and basically I gave it all up for methamphetamine.
For methamphetamine?
And now I have congestive heart failure, and I'm homeless.
Even down here, I'll walk by somebody and say good morning or good afternoon, and they won't say nothing. And that's I think that's the most.
They act like you're not even here?
Yeah, that's the most disrespectful thing ever.
How would you feel about if the city would prioritize a tent, not necessarily call it a tent city, but like a safe zone? You're calling it a community. Yeah. I like that, because
to where we can come and have somewhere to sleep and
belong.
As long as it's policed correctly, and then people are not committing crimes and hurting people. I think we should. That's.
And you would find that to be a big support.
Yeah.
So that'd be nice, but it's something that would have to be kind of monitored in terms of for safety and stuff like that.
Like security,
but not overbearing security.
Right. So you'd have your
part of the problem out here is security. Is just a lot of heroes out there that want to prevent us from getting some of the things that we need, like water or food, for example.
We need access to computers. You know, if you don't have an access to a computer to do a job application nowadays.
So you don't know where you can go to.
That everything's online nowadays. There's not many paper applications.
So more awareness for you about where you could go to even apply.
Like, even places that do that for, you know, it's like if you go somewhere, usually they'll kick you off.
What about the library?
The library would be a good place, you know, but maybe closer places than just the library. That's one place, you know, that would encourage kids to do it. Like maybe at the camp, they would have designated places for that.
Yes.
And maybe bikes, you know, bike shop there at the camp
at
too.
like a tent city.
Yeah, at the tent city for
social services like that.
Social services, and there's everything right there for them already.
Exactly.
Would encourage them even more.
That would help you a lot.
To help to do it, you know, and they really need a push, you know, like that's one thing too. You know, a lot of people out here have nobody. And if someone was there to help them and it would be there right in their face, they'd be more encouraged to do it.
And Travis, I understand you actually are part of the group that likes to find some security underneath the overpass here near Land Park.
Yes.
And lately we've been hearing Land Park Facebook group trying to give you guys some difficulty.
Yeah, so I'm one of the lanes, ones that hangs out over there, and it's an area that, you know, provides us a, you know, security, you know, from the outsiders.
So you prefer to be under the overpass there in the evening, and it's for you kind of have numbers to keep you.
Preferred to be, you know, in a house or an apartment or etc.
What would help me is if it was an easier process and I guess more beneficial process. Right now, I don't even have a blanket for tonight.
A blanket?
Yeah.
And so it gets pretty cold, and you're challenged in trying to stay warm throughout the night.
But we definitely caused a lot of our scrutinization, but there's people that are trying to fix it. They're trying to change it to where, you know, I mean, people do clean up after themselves and use the bathroom in a correct place, or try to ask to use the bathroom in a correct place. I mean, I understand the feces and urine about here. That's not good. That's not a good thing. So try to find a bathroom and do our thing there. But I believe a community would be a positive thing, a positive impact.
What happens is it's a tidal wave. One thing happens after another.
On the street.
Yeah, you're kicked out from one place, and then maybe all your stuff gets stolen, and then maybe.
Has that happened to you already?
I was robbed 9 times in June. And it's one thing after another, and you get into a rut, and you get into, okay, what next? And it kind of brings you down, you know?
Right.
And you kind of can't get out of it.
Okay.
And
what about, you have any family that you can reach out to? Is that a struggle?
I don't have much family.
You're not going to freeze tonight, my friend. That's going to help you keep warm. All right. You got it. My pleasure.